Well, and also interesting to compare you with Fernando there, because Fernando is definitely more, slightly more
sharp.
sudden. Well, I don't know if sharp's the
maybe.
right word. Sudden, I don't even think that's the right word. He obviously loads it up correctly, but he definitely looks to be more acute going in than you. You look slightly more subtle through there, supple rather than subtle. When you're going into cops, are you aware of what you're looking at that point? You're looking at the exit point almost straight away, do you think? Or are you looking at the apex still? Is it on that turn-in moment?
I mean, the key there is the turn-in moment. Is you need to get that right, because it's so quick. You get there and...
By which you mean not only the point, but the rate at which you're getting the car in, right?
Yeah.
And loading it up.
Yeah, and you know, it's like you say, I mean, again, that was one of the corners where myself and Fernando were a little bit different. I think in terms of how the initial steering input was. I think I was a bit more smooth than Fernando on the first turn-in, let's say. And it really changes the car balance as well through the corner.
The interesting thing is that Fernando has had that characteristic all his life, ever since I've watched him drive, and yet he never seems to he's never troubled by it mid-corner. He always seems to be able to harmonize it by the time he's got the car at its minimum speed point. It's an interesting thing. I don't know if it's just his footwork, his handwork, but it's amazing recovery that he often has, because he does unsettle the car.
Yeah, I think what is good with Fernando is you look at his data and there's nothing really that you see that is like out of this world. You know, everything looks kind of quite normal. It's just the whole corner that he just manages to put together every time.
Yeah.
And this is one of his strengths. Is every corner, even when he makes a tiny bit of a mistake, he still manages to recover very well from it.
How do you think you are in that specific area, recovering from small mistakes?
I think it's something where I can do better, but I think that's also linked a little bit to my driving style, because I'm usually when I brake so late, then the margin when something goes wrong, I think you're exposing the limit maybe a bit more, let's say, and then when you go over it, I think it just makes maybe a bit more time loss. But I think recently, we've been working a lot together with the engineers to understand how to, get a little bit more consistency into things as well, and we've seen some very good steps forward. And
would that involve perhaps not consistently braking so late?
Yeah, definitely. I think I've changed my driving style a bit as well. Maybe not looking for the last thousands under braking and getting a bit more consistency there, which has helped me through the mid corner and exit phase of the corner as well.
Jim Clark, I don't know, probably heard of Jim Clark, won 2 world championships, always used to say that if you want to go quicker, you don't brake later, you just come out of the brakes a bit sooner.